We finally returned to the 1950s where Godzilla arose again to the trio to let them know, nice try, suckers, but thanks for the energy. What's up, YouTubers of the world? MegaGeekMixer here to give you guys my review of episode 6 of Monarch, Legacy of Monsters, and Godzilla, he's alive! But are we really surprised? Especially when you come to the fact on how he returned into the 1950s. Yes, the 1950s are back, which is good. They're the best part of Monarch. Nothing against the present. I do like them, but not as much as I'm connected with the trio of the 50s right here. And yeah, since we already knew Godzilla was going to be alive, but even still, we knew he was going to be alive. To see him rise up right there and pretty much tell the trio that he's alive was just a joy for Keiko, as she just beamed with excitement knowing that he's alive. But even still though, knowing he's alive, didn't want the military to know, but let's just say at the end, that's what happened. All because of Lee Shaw choosing love over duty. And by that I mean in this episode, we get more fleshness out, especially of Lee Shaw and Keiko's relationship, showing they clearly did something there. They truly had something special there. But it can go back in title to when I said it doesn't look like it was meant to be. It seems it sticks by that. Not in the sense though that still doesn't mean that that Hiroshi Randa and the Randa kids of Kate and Kentaro still could be actually Lee Shaw's kids. But nevertheless, it did show that it just wasn't meant to be due to circumstances and timing. Even Maya Yamato, who mentioned this in an interview I recently saw before doing this interview, said that Randa and Lee Shaw are good for both of her. It is just a matter of the timing and circumstances which allowed her to choose which of the two at the time. Because when you look at this episode and you saw that moment between them as they were dancing in that ballroom, you saw that bond. They truly do have feelings for each other. And you saw it again when Lee Shaw chose love over duty when he went to Japan, when he should have stayed behind and allowed Keiko and Randa to go to Japan here. But unfortunately, it didn't go that way, and eventually Monarch is now in the hands of somebody they do not trust at all, as we met him in the beginning of the episode at the military ball, when he showed some sort of racism to Keiko. But hey, 50s and also, you understand all that and everything. But nevertheless, though, one thing that did hit me here was in the fact that what I can really know that's really making it even more confirmed, or better yet, more clear, is that yes, those are Lee Shaw's kids, not Bill Randa's kids. Grandkids, and Hiroshi being his son, because of what Lee Shaw said when Keiko and him were talking about kids. Calling an Easter egg back to episode 1, by the way, which I love that, by the way. Him being entertained about one time having kids. But also the same, he said to Keiko, you want to know my favorite thing about kids is having more of them. Showing that I think these two have already done it already. And she's pregnant right now. He just doesn't know. But maybe she doesn't know either. At least not right now. All's the same though. It turns out the reason why this just couldn't work is because of Monarch. Because when they were about to go have some fun, there's Bill Randa to call them in, saying they got another reading that could possibly be a Titan. And this is where it led into the split up of Lee Shaw having to stay behind so they can work on that government backing and make sure it's finalized, while Keiko and Randa went to Japan and they met up with this guy who gave off an Easter egg to saying, welcome to Monster Island. And all of you people who are Godzilla fans knows exactly what that Easter egg is right there. And that was a good Easter egg, especially who showed up later, that being Godzilla himself. But I did love how he was introducing what you could say is an early version of the Orca. That was the plot point in Godzilla King of the Monsters. The plot driven point, that is. And then the fact that this is a Titan's phone to call a Titan up to the surface. In other words, like, hey Titan, we're some curious humans here who just want to meet you guys. So if one of you could come up here, we would really appreciate that. And yeah, Godzilla heard that message and he's like, okay, I'm gonna come up here and rub it in your trio's faces. That stupid bomb you did nothing but feed me, made me feel good. Such classic stuff right there. What can I say, guys? I'm having fun because this episode really brought some fun out, especially the fact that we got to see Godzilla both in the past and the present. Don't worry, we'll get to the present one here soon. We still got to go back to Lee Shaw, who after getting word from Bill about how things are going over there, he just couldn't help it. He wanted to be with Keiko. Even went to his general to get permission to go over there. But he was warned that if you do that, I'm going to have to force my hands and hand over the backing to someone else. And yeah, it was, like I said, it was someone they didn't trust. Because yeah, he ended up following his heart, went to Keiko. And this is where I'll go into something else on how Keiko talks about we can't put our feelings before the greater good. But Lee Shaw was like, maybe we can. And here's the thing. They're both right and they're both wrong. It all depends on the circumstances. Because this can go back into another Easter egg callback of episode 1. And then the fact on how it sounds like Bill and Keiko never really listened to Lee Shaw when he felt like things were a little too dangerous and too risky, that maybe we should stop right there. But no, sometimes these guys were like, we have to do this. And I get the whole scientists have risked their lives to always change the future and everything. There's just sometimes at a point, though, that despite that, when the danger is just way, way too high, you just gotta let it go and try another time here. And I can't help but feel that is kind of what led to Keiko's death, and the fact on how they never really listened to Shaw, and how Shaw's seeming to always have to help them save their butts and all that is what kind of led to Keiko's death. That's just a speculation, mind you. I could be wrong, but that's kind of where some of these things are leaving. Because don't forget how this episode started. Starting us with the late 50s and how things ended with this trio, and now they're breaking down what happened to lead to that moment. This is all speculation here, guys. I have to speculate that that's what it was here. But all the same, though, them seeing him, and as I said, Keiko beaming, or did I say that? Probably did. I can't remember, guys. All I know is Keiko was beaming to be happy that he's alive and everything. But yeah, they return to their headquarters. It's under control of someone else. Keiko ain't happy. So how's Lee Shaw gonna fix this mistake? I'm sure some way or somehow he'll try to make amends when they were still a trio. But he's clear he's trying to make amends in the present, if anything about that. Because yeah, he seems to not agree with whatever Monarch's doing. And from the looks of it, it's like Monarch's just sitting there doing nothing instead of trying to prevent these Titans from causing loss of life. Not because they don't like humans. It's because as forces of nature, they have their role to play that's much bigger than anything these humans could understand. And since humans can't understand that, they just see mindless creatures who want to destroy. And that's basically what it is, especially with the trio, and especially with Kate, since she had a first-hand experience of Godzilla on the Golden Gate Bridge here. And yeah, eventually the trio is back together with Lee Shaw. I was still about to say Kurt Russell. What can I say, guys? I love that guy. He's cool. But still, he got out thanks to that Duvall woman who seems to be a double agent in the sense of she is betraying Monarch because she believes in Lee Shaw's way, and in the fact on how she said she lost a sister of hers named Sandra, who at first I didn't know who she was talking about, and as the episode went on, I kept thinking, who is that? That sound familiar, until it hit me. That was the woman who was Ford's wife, and who died in that incident at the nuclear plant. And I'm like, it's Easter egg callback to Godzilla 2014. That's her sister? Because you can tell she's telling the truth with how watery her eyes were getting, showing there were some tears as she was getting vulnerably emotional. Now it does look like she's telling the truth, but I can't still say I still fully trust her. Because throughout the episode, especially as they were making their ride to Africa where she was given that look to May to be like, make sure you stay cooperative and we'll get you back and we'll complete our deal here and stuff. Especially when they first met with him in San Francisco at Kate's house and everything. But also, I loved how when Lee Shaw was looking at Kate, he was like, I wouldn't have gotten this far without you, Randa, kids. And that's just still another clear image that this has to be Lee Shaw's grandkids, not Bill Randa's. Same with Hiroshi, who after they make it to their location, do they find Hiroshi there with the same device that was used to call Godzilla back in the 50s? And yeah, afterwards, it looked like a happy reunion was going to happen, but no, here's Hiroshi saying, don't come here, don't come here. And man, we found out that reason soon enough as Godzilla rises from the sand. I was about to say grave. My bad on that. But nevertheless, after he rose from the sand, I love how it happened between him and Kate Randa. Because when she heard that moaning, she had that expression of, I know that moan. I'll never forget that moan. Turns around with fear in her eyes, looking directly at Godzilla as he rose and gave out his mighty roar. And boy, was it a great roar to hear. And yeah, seeing that image of Kate, of the camera behind Kate's back as Godzilla was making the turn to start moving to wherever it is he's going, was a great callback to episode 1. That was beautiful. But hey, after all that was said and done, do the Randa kids realize that Lee Shaw, he's not trying to stop Godzilla, which is what they were assuming he was doing. He's trying to help him. But the question is, what is he trying to help Godzilla with? This has no doubt got to be with that source of energy they saw in Alaska, and the fact they're going to still run into more Titans, and how Godzilla's going to fight that Ion Dragon later on in the series, most likely at the end of the show, the last 2 episodes of the show here. And they're just being like, help that monster? You're insane. We're not going with you. We're going to follow Hiroshi. We're going to follow Hiroshi, our dad, so we can finally reunite and just get the heck out of here. Not knowing that they're all connected. Following Godzilla and following Hiroshi, that's all the same thing right there. But Curtin not trying to force them to come, allows them to go. And this is where May can no longer take it and reveals everything to Kate and Kentaro, and they are not happy. And that's in the fact on she pissed some people off and ran away to protect her family and hide to protect herself while trying to find a way to get her life back and stuff. And yeah, oh yeah, Kate's not happy and neither is Kentaro. But still, I don't like how, after they felt betrayed and they just don't want anything to do with her right now. What I'm saying for May here is she's just apologizing to Kate, completely shunning Kentaro. And that really is just wrong there. I mean, okay, yeah, you still probably have that animosity due to their breakup and stuff. But seriously, you need to apologize to Kentaro too. He never knew anything about this, and you are last few episodes ago, you were blaming him for the reason she's in this, that she was in this mess. You guys know what I'm saying. I'm sorry, I'm flipping my words here, but you know what I'm saying here, and that's just wrong. But all's the same, guys. What an episode. I enjoyed every minute of this. This was great stuff, and I cannot wait to see more of what's to come. It's going to be fun seeing more of what happens in the past, especially with it harping in on what it is that mission was that Lee Shaw was on, that Tim mentioned last episode, that went wrong, and that could be the secret to why he looks so good for 90 years old. I can't wait to see that. All's the same though, guys. Let me know what you thought. Did you enjoy this episode? If you did, all you gotta do is click that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to be notified when I make more videos. And until then, MegaGeekMixer signing out. Bye!